Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Homing TV. So today we're gonna review another piece from the subreddit composers. Without further ado, let's go. Alright, so our first piece is a piano prelude from Andrew Trovato, and let's hear. Really excited. Oh, bravo, my friend! Amazing music, sublime, and also quite clear. Like usually with more atonal pieces, like one of my first judgment is that is it clear for like a average audience or not? You know, it's just my own opinion. But yeah, this was super clear, and with the minor seconds and you know, the mini intervals, super nice. Love it. I have some mini suggestions that maybe you can think of. So first of all, as usual, I don't know if you watch my other videos, this is what I would highly suggest all the time because it's inspirational. It's this. So always write a tempo here, and then write the range in the front, because the you know, the text is inspiring for musicians. And the other thing is I would use a font for my dynamics which is a bit smaller, you know, like tiny bit smaller, because this is a bit too big and it's not necessary to be this big. You know, I would suggest to make it like similar to this, you know, this kind of font. And well, now that we're speaking of this, your tempo should be up here and the ritenuto as well. But I'm assuming you wrote it in a not like a professional scoring software, maybe. Yeah, I'm curious what software you did use for writing this notation here, because usually all of them, when you write a ritenuto or something, it adds it above the score. And yeah, so let me know. Yeah, for example, this one also I would suggest on the top. Always tempo is on the top, okay? Here as well. And I told you about the fonts as well. The other thing that we're talking now about engraving and stuff, this stuff is something that I would suggest to fix. You know, I'm nitpicking as usual, but when the music sounds this good, it's a pity that you don't work on a super professional notation, you know. So I would really suggest to really make these clean if you want to publish it, and also these guys. You see, like it's not, it look a bit goofy, you know. The music, it sounds like super professional, but like I would suggest to modify the engraving a little bit. And speaking about engraving, for example, this kind of stuff, I highly suggest that you put a double bar here, so you are more clear that the tempo is changing, and maybe you can also add a text here if you want, because here is toward the end and the feeling is changing, at least to me. Even though it's a prelude and it's one shot, I would suggest that you put the text here, so you're more clear for the musician to what to do. Or if it's not, then just put a number if it's just what you want this. Yeah, and the other thing before I go to the composition-y stuff is the use of key signatures. In this piece, I would suggest to remove it. I mean, it would have been nice if I could add the score and I just switch it and to see how it works better. But when I see, like, if for my scores also, you know, when you're immediately changing, like you have naturals immediately in the beginning of a piece, and you have a key signature here, always be suspicious, like, because it's a bit paradoxical, you know. So always, or for example, when you have in a piece that is atonal or modal, when you have a F double sharp, you know, because F double sharp is for like classical music, you know, when notes are leading to each other, so the name has to be the same, because for example the F double sharp has to lead to a G sharp, I guess, F double sharp, yeah. So that's where it would make sense, you know. Otherwise, for example, here the F double sharp, you can put just a G natural, you know, and it's also easy for the eye because it's like C, B, G, B, or actually C sharp, B, G, A sharp, you know. So it's more clean for the eye. But think about it. This is also a tasting. I have a video actually about this, and if you want, you can take a look. I explained the whole thing about the key signatures and, you know, the notes, but in general, I really love your piece, and the only thing I would suggest to think about and maybe work a little bit more on it if you wanted to ever modify it or for your next piece, is that you have the whole piece that it's the like, tough energy, which is amazing, and you have this motion here, which I really love. And when it came, I was like, oh yeah, that's so nice here with the no pedal, but it finishes so fast, you know. I would have gone a bit more, you know, like maybe one or two bars, you know, to say, hey, this is like the you know, like the down part, and then gradually it starts again, you know, because this is amazing. And then you have something similar at the end, this guy here, which really it reminds me of that. I would suggest also the same thing. You see, same thing that you did here, that yet you have this texture and then you made it longer. I would suggest here that you make it longer as well, because it's gonna be really nice. Believe me, try it for yourself, and then you see, oh, okay, after all the mayhem that was before, you know, the climax, the beautiful climax, and then it just pops down, you know, and then there's no pedal. It's just one tone, two tones, and then one tone, two tones, you know, and then pops back up. But the other thing that I thought I should tell you is that naming our scores, like when we name our scores like a prelude, always think about it, because if you name it a prelude, I mean, this is like really like a meta thing that I'm talking about, and it helps with the making the form in your music. When you're making a prelude, so preludes usually have very limited motivic, but very little number of motives, you know, it's like 1-2 motives, you know, and then it's like a development, but it's quite simple, you know, not to say it's basic, but it's simple, okay? And I'm not talking about the texture, if it's tonal, modal, atonal, whatever, you know. But then this can sometimes, if you name it prelude, this can sometimes mess with the idea of that you're making the piece, because I was thinking, should I tell you about this even though it's a prelude? Because if you make it longer, then it might not sound like a prelude, you know, because prelude is something compact and, you know, and so this is going to be a bit different. But then I was like, yeah, screw it, man. It's just, even if it's a prelude or whatever, we live in the 21st century, we do whatever you want. And I would still suggest, even if you name it a prelude, you go for the elongation, or in your next piece. I mean, this piece is, it's finished. But yeah, I really hope that you enjoyed this review, my friend. And if you have more stuff, do send them around. And for the rest of you guys, I'm still working on the other videos. Don't worry, they will come soon. And if you have any questions or comments, do let me know in the comment section. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Till later, Homayun out.